Well, Prepper, looks like we were right. It's hit the fan. So let's dive in and talk about it.
Cut out the jibber jabber. Don't be babbling like a fool. Say what you got to say. That's all. Then shut your dang pie hole.
I love Mr. T. Once again, what a dude, right? I just, from what I know of him, is he's never been a massive criminal. He's never been a bad guy. He had his own breakfast cereal. He beat cancer, and he hasn't given up on life. Got to respect that. Anyways, I also find him highly entertaining. And shut your damn pie hole. I'll tell you what, folks. We got some people out there who will not shut their pie hole. Now, the media, if we shall, is the fourth branch of government. It's not in the Constitution, but it was always understood. The First Amendment provides for free speech. The First Amendment, folks, is our right to debate, to argue, to say no, and it shall not be infringed either. Well, they're infringing the hell out of it. But the fourth branch of government, media, right? You got the presidency, you've got the Supreme Court, you've got Congress, which is the Senate and the House of Reps. They're supposed to be doing their job. And when they don't, they're supposed to be criticized by us and the media. But the media instead has taken a side. They have taken a side, and they're actually encouraging the violence out here. For example,
I worry it could begin to look like intimidation when it's at someone's doorstep.
It's so funny. So does what Alito wrote. Looks the same way to me. It looks like intimidation.
Well,
and yeah, it's kind of the same thing.
But it also shows Alito what it feels like to lose your freedom of choice. He cannot leave the house easily, so maybe that's a good lesson for them.
Intimidation.
He cannot leave the house, cannot leave the house, cannot leave the house. It's a good lesson. It's a good lesson. It's a good lesson for them. To lose your freedom, it's a good lesson for them.
Obey. It's kind of the same thing.
the fourth branch of government, the media, has itself encouraged violence and become violent. Listen to this, folks. Detroit reporter Charlie LeDouf reportedly threatened a Michigan Republican Secretary of State candidate. And her name, that's right, I believe she identifies as a woman, Christina Caromo. And he did this during Memorial Day at a parade, folks. A male threatens reportedly this person. Now, the nature of the threat, etc., I don't want to get into, but what I want to talk about is the fourth branch of government. Not the military, it's the media. The media itself, though, is becoming violent. They're encouraging the intimidation, the exposure of, the harassment of. The media is itself becoming violent. The media no longer discusses all information or allows debate. It is chosen a side. And when a person or an organization chooses a side, the side of taking action, do they also become aggressive and even violent? Well, I think it's being demonstrated that that is what is happening. You know, the View is the echo chamber for leftist dipshits and dribblers. And they love that because it encourages them, right? They're acting in the same side as the agenda being put forth by the president, by Congress, and even members of the Supreme Court and, folks, all the other courts in this land, from your local superior court all the way to the top. It's the same agenda in many, many areas. Members of the press, folks, because we're talking about the fourth branch here, members of the press have picked a winner and joined them, they think, right? They are exercising their power of free speech while denying that to others. Censorship, right? That's an act of intellectual violence on their part, if we want to dare use the word intellectual to refer to the leftist media. It's silencing of the opposite. their opposite. It makes it feel powerful. We've intimidated Justice Alito, says Joy Behar of the Goon Squad, The View. They think they're powerful. So they are, folks, not only acting as a branch of government to tell us, the people, what to do, but they're acting against other branches of government. Media believes that if its opinion is the only one that's heard, that it directs the thoughts of others and it will be the winner in the end. Well, media, folks, is directing the thoughts of others, people with weak minds and weak personal constitutions. But when those thoughts are lies, right? Us, me and you, thinking people, we reject them. And that is the divide between those on the political freedom side and those on the political socialist side. I don't want to say left and right. I don't want to say extreme left and extreme right. I'm talking about there's two sides. There's freedom and not freedom. The media wants not freedom. The legislature wants not freedom. The president wants not freedom. And the Supreme Court, well, they land on the side of not freedom all the time, right? Media thinks it's the winner. And since it has the most access to the people, it is supposed to be that link between the government and the people to inform us. But it is no longer informing us. Now it is indoctrinating us in its belief systems, telling us what is and isn't acceptable, not only through news media, but through entertainment media as well. And not just television, but also satellite, radio, and of course, internet. They love that. All right. Looks like we've got some interference. We're being attacked via the internet. Okay. So let us continue. Right? Smart people are rejecting the media. And opposing and rejecting the media is resulting in attacks, both physically and verbally, against us. Just like I pointed out, hey, right? This media person threatened a candidate that he didn't agree with. Media, folks, including social media, is harming people with both disinformation and truth. Right? Because it takes away the truth and provides only its misinformation. And it's provoking violence. I never provoke or suggest violence. I talk about what other people are doing, but no, we don't violate any rules here, any community guidelines. We don't encourage, incite dangerous, harmful, or illegal behavior. We just discussed it in a very satirical format, right? Now, the way media provokes violence is by playing sound bites of Mad Maxine Waters, Al Sharpton, Dr. Fauci, and others, right? Or people like Joy Behar, who directly say, yeah, intimidation is good. Whoopi Goldberg, yeah, intimidation and threats are good. How's it feel? How's it feel to lose some of your rights, right? Unless you obey them, harassment is the abuse coming for you, right? Harassment, doxing, verbally abusing people. It's good for the cause. So it must be the right thing to do, right? And the most aggressive folks amongst the Democrats call themselves by other names, right? The most aggressive among the Democrats, they have other names. Well, they're Antifa, they're BLM, they're communists. But they're young, they're impressionable, and they're prone to violence. Their indoctrination, I believe, at schools, combined with the inability to make a coherent, logical argument, lends itself to taking violent action to get their ways. And we've seen that in the media, in the reports of the attempts to have autonomous zones and protests that are mostly peaceful. They went so far as to go to the mayor of Portland's home, break in and destroy it, to take over the city block that he lived on. And the mayor of Portland is a freaking stinking socialist, but he's not socialist enough for them, right? So they want to take violent action to get their ways. And that action is specifically what the media encourages them to do by claiming they have the correct beliefs. Yeah, kids, you have the correct beliefs. Get out there. And then politicians encourage them, like Vice President Kamala Harris saying the mostly peaceful protests, which included burning, looting, murdering, that was to be encouraged, right? And the police basically forgave them and said, yeah, do what you want. And then judges, when they were arrested, excused them. And George Soros paid them through non-government operations, NGOs, to keep coming back for more, to pay to travel around the country. So thank you, mainstream media, and the rest of the politicians and people involved in this agenda to destroy America, for lying, cheating, stealing. And you will get deserved, folks. They will get what they deserve when the dogs, their dogs that they've turned loose on America, turn on the handlers. This is incredible. It's absolutely incredible. Where are they going, folks? Right now, they're pushing for another St. George moment. St. George Floyd, right? In Kansas City, police shot a black woman. Major media, educators, social media influencers are perpetrating the false claim that she was unarmed. The picture I saw pretty much showed she had a gun in her hand and she was turning and looking back at people who I am going to presume were police, because she was shot. Now, they're pushing for this. The fourth branch of SHTF, the media, is pushing for more violence. I don't want violence. I want peace, tranquility, law, and order. I want constitutional restrictions on the government, and I want our God-given rights respected. But since we're not going to get our way, which is what should be, we have to prepare for what is and what is coming. And that's why I say, please share this video, subscribe. I'm sorry the message is so dire and harsh and negative, etc., etc. I'm sorry about that. But I deal in reality, and preppers deal in reality. Realists deal in reality. If you want fantasy, go watch Disney cartoons from 30 years ago or back. You know, if you want fantasy, that's Hollywood. The stories are fantasy and the social norms are complete fantasy. If you want reality, you come to the Prepared Mind Network. You shop at thepreparedmind.club. You come to the Prepared Mind on patreon.com and you support this message. And many, many, many of you are. And we need your assistance. We do. It is you guys. You want this message and you have supported it. So I continue to provide this message and I thank you. You rock. Godspeed, Semper Fi, chance favors the Prepared Mind. Aren't you glad you're a prepper? I'll talk to you very soon.
Have you any idea how successful censorship is on TV? Don't know the answer? Successful, isn't it?